that even mean, Bowers game quarterback?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. And today we're excited to check out Put and Take from Shaper Manufacturing. This is for 2+ players. It really depends on the player count, how long this game's going to take, but I'd say 20 minutes plus, and it's for ages probably 4, 5+. And in Put and Take, you are going to be spinning this top, and you're going to be doing what the top tells you to do, either putting chips into the kitty or taking chips out of this kitty in this very light, very simple, old school, 62-year-old game. Let's open it up and tell you what I think. But before we do that, I want to give a big shout out to Dennis, who helped support our Kickstarter, helped send us to Gen Con and to Essen this year. He wants to give a shout out to Kingdom's Lawn Game, which I actually did a Kickstarter review for. It is a fantastic lawn game that I really hope gets funded on Kickstarter. It failed the first time, but I'm telling you what, it is an absolutely outstanding heirloom game. Definitely check that one out. That is Kingdom's Lawn Game. Well, let's open up, Put and Take, and I'll tell you what I think. Alright then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Put and Take. So first and foremost, we're going to handy dandy box back, which will teach you all the rules. Very well done. Should have you up and running in no time at all. It's an incredibly simple game, and I can also teach you how to play right now. So in Put and Take, everyone is going to start with 40 points worth of chips. Blues are 10, reds are 2, and yellows are 1. And you're going to try to reach X amount of points depending on the number of players you are playing with. Also, if you're playing a 2-player game, then you're just going to try to take all of the chips in the game. You're going to do that by spinning this top dreidel, whatever you want to call it, which will have a variety of different things on the outside. They'll be either put things into the kitty right here, take things out, or take all of them, which obviously is good for you because then you will get money. And you're going to take turns spinning the dreidel and doing it. And that really is pretty much all there is in the game. I do want to give a shout out to the box insert, because it's a very nice box insert. There's a spot for the kitty, for the put, and for the box to go, for this little extra thing of chips to go. But let's show you exactly how the game works. So on your turn, you're going to spin it, and you're going to do exactly what it says. Now, I do want to mention there's already money in the kitty, because at the beginning of the game, you will put 3 coins in there. Also, if there ever is less than 3 chips in the kitty, then everybody puts 3 chips in there. So I'm going to put $2 in there, and I go like that, and now it's this guy's over here's turn. He spins it up. He's going to put $1 in there. It's this guy's turn over here. He's going to spin it up. He gets to take all of it. Good for him. Now everyone's going to put $3 back in there. And if that player, if that amount of money had pushed him over the top to whatever the threshold would be, so in a 3-player game it'd be $75, then he would win the game. And you're literally just going to do that over and 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 over again until someone wins the game. And that in a nutshell is what you're going to do inside of Put and Take. Alright then, Put and Take from Shaper Manufacturing. What are my final thoughts? Let's go with the pros, let's go with the cons. First, on the pro side, the game is very easy to learn. It's very easy to teach. Young children, very young children, can play this with no problem, and they will have as much of a chance to win as anybody else, and the kids will like that. This is not one of those games where you're going to have to take it easy on kids, because you really, who wins is completely out of anybody's control. It's 100% random, which I'll talk about more in the cons, but for a lot of kids, that is going to be a pro. Also, it accommodates a large number of players, 2+ players, and you can easily go and get more of these mini poker chips, and you could play giant tournaments of this. Easy to learn, easy to teach. It's not going to scare anybody off. I'd say this is a gateway game, a children's game, a family game. It is out of print, which is good because it's a crappy game for most people, and that's what I got. Moving on to the cons. Man, this game did not age well, and this game really does show its age in a variety of different things. So first and foremost, it's 100% luck driven. There is nothing, absolutely zero you can do aside from cheating to give yourself a better chance to win this game, which is just, you know, there's some games like that out there still. Especially a lot of mass market games. But in the hobby, that's not typically something you have. But here's the biggest other con. There's a lot of other games that are more interesting and have more things that can happen than this game, which makes this game and knocks it down another peg. But the biggest, most damning thing about this game, and the reason why I can't recommend this game to anybody at all, is that, yes, there's 100% luck, and yes, other games do 100% luck better than this game, but the biggest thing is this game outstays its welcome. God, it is repetitive. You do the same thing over and over and over and over again, and it's not the fun thing. Spinning the top's not that fun, and the game takes way too long. And it can take even longer depending on what you're spinning. Like, even if you're having best case scenarios, you're getting a lot of take-alls, a lot of take-threes, the game still is going to take way too long. And that's not good. Now, one other thing I forgot to mention in the middle part is that I mentioned how you have to reach a certain point threshold. Someone could win the game when someone runs out of chips. Whoever has the most chips will win the game. But, man, and the two-player game, oh, God, don't even get me started on the two-player game. The two-player game has the war problem, where because of the two-player game, you have to have all the chips. You have to have all 80 of the chips, which is really difficult to do, and the game will stretch out forever. And I played one game with two players with one of the younger kids in my class, and he really enjoyed the game because he doesn't get to play too many games with me. I'm always in the class and playing tons of games with the kids, and this is not a kid that I particularly normally play games with because he's not the brightest kid, and he's not going to be able to understand a lot of the games that we play. This game you can understand. I was like, sure, I'm going to invite him over here, and he really enjoyed the game. But, God, it took forever. It's like that game of war where it's like, yeah, I've got, a 2, a 6, a 4, and one ace, and it's just the game just drag like this review is starting to do. So let's wrap it up. Put and Take is hot garbage. It is mediocre. It is 100% random. It's just not good. I can't recommend it to anybody. So that is Put and Take. 100% random. There's other games that do that exact thing better. It takes way too long, especially at two players, and I cannot recommend it for anybody. That is Put and Take from Shaper Manufacturing. If you're sitting in a thrift store looking at this, it's not a good game. You're probably going to buy it because it's so old and you think maybe it's a collector's item, but it's not a good game. I assure you, it's a bad game. It's a completely random, boring game. But yeah, hey, it might be worth some money in the future. So that is Put and Take. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know what is the best old school game that you've played recently. For me personally, I got a huge collection of old school games recently. Played a game called Crack the Case. Actually, last night at my game night, really enjoyed that one. Essentially, you have this mystery, and you can ask yes or no questions to the moderator to try to answer the mystery. And it's just this time game where the moderator gives you yes or no questions. You have to figure out the where and the how and the why of a mystery. And I really stinking dug that game. But let me know in the comments below, what is the last really good game, old school game, that you played and enjoyed? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.